Oh, underrated anime movies? Haven't really watched much of those, so this could be good. Yeah, you can't be serious, dude. Like, you're not telling me these specific anime movies are considered underrated, right? But the more I think about it, I guess it makes sense. No one really talks about any of these movies anymore, but it's not like they're considered obscure or hidden gems. The oldest movie here is Hello World, which released in September of 2019, so it's not like it stood the test of time. Well, there's Hal, but no one cares about Hal. The Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes has reached modern AMV privileges, and that one clip always resurfaces on Twitter. And you're telling me it's underrated? Like, I'm not gonna agree with that at all. Obviously, people don't talk about it anymore because it's way past its release date, and naturally the discourse among these movies slowed down and eventually stopped. But if it doesn't become a topic weeks or months after its initial screening, if people don't use it as memes or turn it into pop culture icons, are they suddenly underrated now? Oxford defines underrated as not rated or valued highly enough, and Merriam-Webster defines it as rated or valued too low. I'm completely hypothesizing here, right? But the post I mentioned makes it sound like it's underrated because no one talks about it anymore, rather than it being not rated or valued as high as it could be. I saw another tweet about this recently too, about how underrated Insomniacs After School is because no one talks about it anymore. If we go by Oxford and Merriam's definition, does it make these anime movies underrated? Honestly, not really. I watched all of these already and I think they're rated fairly well. At least if we look at Mal and AniList. Except you, Hal. Go sit in the corner or something. But maybe Insomniacs After School fits the bill. With its intriguing premise, refreshing art style, and its more indirect approach to their chemistry and romance, I'm honestly a little shocked it isn't as rated as high as it could be. If I had to guess, its more grounded and mundane atmosphere might be exactly why people aren't interested in watching this as much as the other more explicit, more exciting romances out there. If you guys have a bone to pick with this discussion, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Oh yeah, and subscribe too if you want to see me upload more than once every strange fake episode. Jesus Christ. But if you go by the other ambiguous definition I made just now to validate my point, does it mean Summer Ghost is underrated? Does it mean the first Slam Dunk is underrated? Is the Mononoke movie underrated? Like, it just makes me think that the discussion for these movies simply ended rather than it being considered underrated. And obviously there will be new movies coming out or new animes that people are excited about, so of course people will eventually stop talking about it and move on to something they can actually look forward to. If we look into seasonals, one of my personal favorites, if not my favorite anime series of all time, Hibike Euphonium, has a relatively big fan base. At least when I saw the discourse on Twitter when the anime was airing, the art I see, and the overall engagements the official account gets when they post literally anything. But it isn't popular in the sense that it's a global phenomenon. It's not a worldwide sensation that everyone knows just by hearing the first word of the title, but it 100% has a relatively big following. Just not that big. I know the sample size is a little small here, but I tried to check a few top 10s on Twitter to see what people's top animes were at that time, and Hibike Euphonium was only in the top 10 once. Like, I'm sorry, if you're telling me Hibike Euphonium is below Jellyfish and Kaiju number 8, then let's just say not a lot of people in this poll watched UFO. Like ain't no way. Even when I bring it up to actual anime fans I personally know, they're either unfamiliar with the title or have just heard of it. Does that make me think Hibike Euphonium is underrated? Honestly, it's weird because I think it's not underrated, but at the same time, I'm a little shocked it's not as popular as it is because the show is just that good. It's technically not underrated, but it is? Like, what's even considered underrated nowadays? Maybe the internet and social media in general has evolved to a point where we move on so fast from the shows we watch that the term underrated doesn't really make sense, or is now just a buzzword people throw at anything that doesn't become a cultural icon amongst the community. Is it also really a moving on too fast thing? A lot of these animes air for at least 3 months, so that's at least a week where you're thinking about something as you watch it, or at least ask a question about the show, or like the character's purpose in the story, the staff's decision on the direction of the anime. Like, there's always something, right? There's at least something that keeps you questioning. For an entire core, you invest your time into these shows, some for even longer. But once they're done, is it time to move on to the next one? Is it really just the overstimulation of our consumption that we can't fully take in what we've perceived over the course of a season? Or is it simply because it's over and there's no deeper meaning behind it? What do you guys think? Does the discourse in anime die too fast now after it's done airing? Is it some simple reason I completely glossed over? Like, genuinely finding a good way way to conclude this has been really tough because the more I think about it, the more convoluted and subjective the word underrated is becoming. If you ask me what an underrated anime movie is, I'd say Time of Eve, which isn't even a movie by the way. It's a 6-episode OVA, combined every episode, and re-released it into an hour and 46-minute long movie. I actually haven't watched a lot of anime movies myself, and the more I look through the stuff I've already watched, this is the most underrated movie I have here. But I'm sure you guys can recommend some bangers because honestly, anything mentioned is probably something I haven't watched. And oh yeah, House sucks.